powered by AI to protect their data from cyber attacks. When the game is on the line, the NFL relies on Cisco.
And, it came down to turnovers, number one. There are not many teams in this league that, you can have 3 turnovers in a game, especially one of the top teams in the league, and run defense. I mean, to me, those are the 2 main things that really popped out on film. A lot of big plays made last night. Some people that don't get the recognition, for instance, the deep pass, the booty, the protection was good, and that's what football is. Like, everyone has to be on the same page and work together to make those explosives happen. But like I said, it came down to 2 things, and that's really just the turnovers and the run defense. Fire away.
We'll start with Mike Reese, followed by Nick O'Malley.
Sherrod, specific to those turnovers, the last time we saw Ramondre have a little bit of a run of fumbles, we saw Antonio actually start a game the next week. Is that something that you'll have to put under consideration this week?
Look, I think everyone understands how important the football is, and we're a team that we just can't turn the ball over. I don't think any team can really afford to turn the ball over. I thought Gibby, when he got in there, did a great job. And look, we had to go back and talk about it as a staff, but that's definitely still a possibility. And I will say this, we all in this building stand behind Ramondre and the things that he does a lot of good things. Unfortunately, right now, the ball's just on the ground too much.
Nick O'Malley, followed by Chris Ryan.
Hi, Jerod. After the game, we heard from Drake talking about how he's perceived the outside perception of the coaching staff and a lot of the criticism that's been abound in media and the fan base. Said that criticism is some BS. What did you hear Drake's comments, and have you talked to him after? What was your reaction to those comments?
I didn't hear the comments, and I haven't talked to Drake about those comments. My main concern is always the people inside this building.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Ryan, then Ian Steele.
Hey, Jerod, hope all is well with you. Just on the big picture following this game, do you feel that this was, without a win, a statement about the direction the team is going in, that you were, that competitive and an opportunity to beat a team that obviously had been rolling? I mean, how do you look at that game in terms of the overall projection and direction of this team franchise?
Yeah, to be frank, I don't believe in, good losses. I think there's a lot to learn from the game. And, look, we're headed the right direction, but it's all about consistency. And we have to do that on a down after down, a game after game basis to be successful in this league.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Ian Steele, followed by Sophie Weller.
Hey, Jerod, just expanding on Drake's comments a little bit. Basically, what he said was that the players have your back as the head coach and the coaching staff's back in a tough season. What does that mean to you to hear your quarterback and your players have your back?
It means a lot. It means a lot. And, hopefully those guys know, I care about them not only as football players, but as men. And that's always been my message, and it's been consistent all year. I care about these guys as men. And, I have to continue to get better so we can get in the win column and push forward.
Sophie Weller, followed by Bob Sosi.
Hi, Jerod. I was just curious your take on the what went into the decision for that fake punt that you guys ended up getting the first down on. Just why you decided to go for that there, and if that's something like you're trying to incorporate more.
Yeah, we went into the game. You're playing one of the top teams in the league, playing one of the hottest teams in the league, and you have to steal a possession somewhere. And that was kind of the thought process behind that. And I thought those guys went out there and they executed it well.
Bob Sosi, followed by Taylor Kyles.
Good morning, Jerod. Well, Sophie stole my thunder there with the question, because I was going to ask you about the fake pump, but I want to ask you to follow up about the player who executed that, Del Pettis. In that role, personal protector is the role that we don't hear a lot about. When we watch games, typically said about that position, but to trust a rookie free agent, or rookie in general, in that position, and how much leeway did he have? Does he have a green light in certain situations to make that call? We haven't seen that call in a long time here.
Yeah, that's a great question, Bob. Look, first I would say there are no rookies at this point in the season. We only have a few more games left. And secondly, I would say Dale's done a great job all year, really taking that role and thriving in that role. We made the call from the sideline. He has the opportunity to cancel it if we don't get the look. That's kind of how it operates. I hope that answered your question, Bob.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Taylor Kyles, followed by Mike Reese.
Morning, Coach. Thank you so much for your time. I was wondering, it looked like there were a few delayed game penalties or some close calls as well. I was curious, was that a matter of just not getting the call in time and urgency? Was it a communication thing? I was just curious what happened because it did seem like it popped up a few times.
No, it's a great question, Taylor, and good morning. There were different, I feel like a lot of those were just different instances. It could have been, the operation. It could have been, not getting off the field in time. There were multiple things like that. But, I would say, overall, from a penalty perspective throughout the game, I thought we were pretty good compared to some of the other games that we've had.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mike Reese, followed by Chris Ryan.
Gerard, Austin Hooper took a pretty good shot there in the fourth quarter. I did see him come back for one offensive play and a PAT. Understanding that those situations can always turn the day after. Is it your understanding that he's all clear right now?
That's my understanding as right now. If I hear something different, I'm going to go back and I'm going to tell you something different. But right now, he's fine.
Chris Ryan, followed by Mike Giardi.
Hey, Jerod, just on a couple of the turnovers in the game. What's the coaching point on the Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson lateral in that instance? Like, do you want to see Ramondre get beyond obviously the point where it would be a fumble, or is that somewhere he should catch the ball? And also on Drake's interception, what would you see that, and you want him to push the envelope in those types of spots?
Yeah, it's a good question, Chris. One thing I would say just about the Ramondre play, like obviously you want him to be a little flatter there, but it's the cut block. If we get the cut block by the tackle, watching the film, you get that cut block, we have a big play there. So, and then on the interception, I was a little bit confused. Look, it was a bad throw, but at the same time, you have a receiver in the end zone getting decleated as the ball's in the air, and nothing happened. But look, we got to clean it up. And that's what we're going to do.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mike Giardi, followed by Sophie Weller.
Morning, Jerod.
Morning, Mike.
You run the fake punt. You advance the ball 9 yards after that. Fourth
and then
and
it's
1.
4th and 6. And then it's 4th and 6. We always just try to do what's best for the team. And look, I would say that time of possession is also a big thing. And then also the field, the yardage on the field, the hidden yardage that we continually talk about. And I just felt like that was the best thing to do there.
And just quickly, you mentioned the run defense. It seems like every week there's a big play. Can't take those away from the game. What are you seeing? Are there any commonalities in that?
Lack of consistency.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll do two final questions. Sophie Weller and Dakota Randall.
I was curious what you saw on the Marte Mapu interception and kind of what conversations went into after and when he didn't take the touchback and instead tried to run it out, just kind of what you saw there and what conversations you had after.
Yeah, he knew the mistake that he made. He was apologetic when he came off the field. And look, some things are better left unsaid. I mean, he understood he was more disappointed than anyone else as far as doing, making the play like that.
Last question, Dakota Randall.
Hi, Jerod. I also was going to ask about Marte. So instead, I'll just ask, you just mentioned the cut block play. With how Demontre played yesterday, is there any greater chance you think this week of Caden Wallace getting a shot at right tackle?
Sorry, say it again. Sorry.
I'm just wondering, given after watching the film and you mentioned the cut block play, with Demontre, is there any greater chance this weekend of Caden Wallace getting a shot at right tackle?
I mean, that's tough to say. We have to make sure that Caden is okay and ready to play. So we'll see.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Happy holidays.